On Chinese New Year's Eve in 2020, Tong Liya, an actress who didn't even have a host's license, suddenly appeared as the absolute center host on CCTV Spring Festival Gala. This scene became one of the most bizarre, unsolved mysteries in CCTV's history. Now, with the downfall of a high-ranking official, a mystery that has been sealed away for years seems to be revealing just the tip of the iceberg. Cai Fuchao, former deputy minister of the Central Propaganda Department and former director of the State Administration of Radio, Film and Television, was investigated yesterday. He was not only a major figure in the CCP's propaganda system, but also the father-in-law of CCTV's former top host, Li Cici. Li Cici was able to appear on the Spring Festival Gala thanks to her father-in-law, Cai Fuchao. So who was behind Tong Liya? Who pushed Li Cici out of the spotlight? Could her backer be even more powerful than Vice Minister Cai Fuchao? And is it really true, as the rumors say, that she married Shanghai Xiang, who was the head of CCTV at the time? Back then, when rumors about her and Shanghai Xiang spread widely across the internet, what kind of dark secrets were actually hidden behind it all? Today, using Cai Fuchao's downfall as our starting point, let's peel back the layers and uncover how Tong Liya rose from being a poor girl from Xinjiang who moved to Beijing to becoming the central figure in red propaganda, defying all odds along the way. In 1983, Tong Liya was born in Yili, Xinjiang. She looks gentle and delicate like a soft southern girl from Jiangnan, but she is not Han Chinese. She is of the Xibei ethnic group. This group is descended from the Shenbei people. Back in the Qianlong era of the Qing dynasty, her ancestors crossed more than half of China to guard the northwest border. They were skilled in horseback riding and archery, with resilience and wildness running in their veins. Tong Liya was a brave child, matching or exceeding the boy's boldness. She learned martial arts at 6 and traveled alone to Urumqi at 12. After graduating in 2000, she joined the Xinjiang Song and Dance Troupe. By all accounts, for a girl from Xinjiang to get into a state-run song and dance troupe at the autonomous region level, landing such a secure government job is already hitting the jackpot. The vast majority of Xinjiang girls would spend their whole lives dancing here steadily, retiring and collecting their pensions. But Tong Liya, on the other hand, when she was just in her early 20s, made a really bold decision to head to Beijing to pursue her dreams. She carried a bag of naan, 2 bags of chili sauce from her hometown, and had less than 100 yuan in her pocket, coming to Beijing all by herself. When she first arrived in Beijing, she worked as a waiter in a restaurant to make a living, danced as a resident performer in cinemas, and played bit parts in various small shows. Later, she gritted her teeth and got accepted into the acting department of the Central Academy of Drama. After graduating, she spent a few years playing minor roles and acted in a few productions. He acted in some lukewarm TV dramas, but what truly turned his fate around were the series Palace in 2011 and Beijing Love Story in 2012. The former made him one of the hottest young stars, while the latter introduced him to the man who would change the course of his life from then on. In January 2014, Tong Liya and Chen Sicheng officially got married, holding their wedding in Dali. At the ceremony, Tong Liya's father earnestly gave his daughter and all the guests some advice. He said, "After you join the Chen family, do more chores, cook more meals, and take good care of your husband." These words revealed the sense of inferiority and eagerness to please that a family from the border regions might feel when facing Beijing's new elite. This marriage marked a golden period for both of them, broadening their horizons. Chen Sicheng's career took off, and with the Detective Chinatown series, he quickly became one of China's top commercial film directors. Tong Liya, meanwhile, starred in Ordinary World and The Taking of Tiger Mountain. The former earned her the Golden Eagle Award, while the latter helped her make a name for herself in the film industry. 2 years later, their son was born. It looked like a harmonious marriage, with both of them thriving together. But what kind of person is Chen Sicheng, really? On the surface, he seems like an artistic youth, but deep down, he's nothing short of a playboy. Not long after getting married, Chen Sicheng started cheating. Once, twice, 3 times. Tong Liya kept forgiving him again and again. She even helplessly told the media that as long as he comes home, that's enough for her. Until January 2017, during a film shoot, Chen Sicheng was caught on camera late at night bringing a female actress into his hotel room. Then, at 3 in the morning, yet another young woman entered his room. In a single night, 2 women, right in front of all the paparazzi in China, completely tore away the last shred of dignity from this marriage. This time, Tong Liya didn't forgive him. She posted a photo in her friend circle holding her child, with 8 words, "Starting over. Yaya, you can do it." People in the industry revealed that from that year on, the two officially began living apart. They didn't divorce right away because of their child and business interests. It was also from this point that Tong Liya truly began her journey as a strong, independent woman. Her entire life trajectory took a 180-degree turn, and the force and speed of this change were so great that it wasn't something an ordinary actress could achieve on her own. On February 15, 2018, Chinese New Year's Eve, Tong Liya appeared on the stage of the CCTV Spring Festival Gala for the first time. Together with several other artists, she performed the opening song and dance, A Colorful Chinese New Year. Not only that, she also participated as a guest in the Spring Festival Gala countdown program and even gave an exclusive backstage interview. For one person to appear 3 times in a single Spring Festival Gala is extremely rare on CCTV. But some people might think Tong Liya was already a huge star at the time, so it's not surprising for her to be on the Spring Festival Gala. But do you really know how deep the waters run at the gala? In China's television system, the Spring Festival Gala has never just been an entertainment show. It is the highest level, most strictly censored, and most politically driven ideological platform in all of China. Every program arrangement, every camera angle, every host's position, all of it has to go through multiple layers of approval from the Central Propaganda Department and the National Radio and Television Administration. Behind all of this are meticulous political considerations. For example, if a folk singing group wants to perform on the Spring Festival Gala, or if a female singer wants to have a solo performance on the show, they usually need a recommendation slip from someone at the level of a Politburo member. That's the threshold for getting on the Spring Festival Gala. Before 2018, Tong Liya lacked a CCTV foundation. For comparison, 3 years earlier in 2015, she performed at the CCTV Lantern Festival Gala in a group dance called National Beauty and Heavenly Fragrance with Qin Lan, Ma Su, and Wang Likun. Note that with 4 people dancing, she wasn't qualified for a solo. Ultimately, the program was even canceled. And the stage she appeared on was just the Lantern Festival Gala, not the Spring Festival Gala. This was the status Tong Liya had at CCTV 3 years ago, when she was still married to Chen Zicheng. But starting from 2018, everything changed completely. In April 2018, at CCTV's May 4th Gala, Tong Liya appeared in a white dress and was named Outstanding Young Actress. That December, at CCTV's Gala marking 40 years of reform and opening up, she recited The Great Awakening. In the front row sat the 7 Politburo Standing Committee members. In 2019, she appeared twice more at major CCTV galas, the gala celebrating the 70th anniversary of the founding of the country and the gala marking the 20th anniversary of Macau's return. By this point, it was no longer just a matter of a popular celebrity being invited. This was an actor being deliberately elevated within the system, within the party's propaganda apparatus, repeatedly being given exposure so that the top leaders will become familiar with her face, and all of this was paving the way for that moment in 2020. Preparing for Chinese New Year's Eve on January 24th, 2020, viewers nationwide saw a surprise. Center stage at the CCTV Spring Festival Gala stood Tong Liya in a red gown. For years, Li Cixi and Zhu Xun hosted the Spring Festival Gala 8 times straight, but now both are gone. Among the hosts, Ren Luyu and Tishay Mate are regulars, while poetry reciter Zhang Shuye is a star who won the 2019 CCTV Host Competition. Among these 5 hosts, 4 of them are professionally trained in broadcasting. The only exception is Tong Liya, who graduated from the acting department of the Film Academy and had never hosted any major gala before. Yet somehow she was parachuted straight into the core center stage of this highest ideological platform in China. This is just unbelievable. Since 2001, in the past 25 years on the Spring Festival Gala stage, only 2 actors have ever crossed over to serve as hosts at the main CCTV venue. One was Zhang Guoli, who hosted in 2014. At that time, it was a special experiment where then Minister of Publicity appointed Feng Xiaogeng as the Spring Festival Gala's chief director in an unconventional move, which gave Zhang Guoli the opportunity. And Zhang Guoli himself has long been working as a part-time host. The other one is Tong Liya, a female actress with absolutely no hosting experience. Such an exception is absolutely abnormal within the CCP system, which is so focused on seniority and hierarchy. Let me ask you, do you think this kind of situation is just a coincidence? If you think this is definitely not a coincidence and that Tong Liya must have some powerful backing, give me a has connections. If you think it might not necessarily be about connections and maybe it's just that Tong Liya's image fits the party's main theme, give me a fits the theme. It's a coincidence. Let's see, friends, what do you think? The key is, coincidences like this were far from over. After that year's Spring Festival Gala, Tong Liya's opportunities exploded. She started landing major roles in patriotic blockbusters like Revolutionaries 1921 and Tempered into Steel. She became a professional at playing the wives of revolutionary martyrs, transforming overnight from a sweet urban idol drama actress into a go-to actress for revolutionary female youth roles. She was also elected as a council member of the China Television Artists Association and the China Literary Volunteers Association, and later became the deputy director of the China Shuangxing Committee. She returned to Xinjiang again and again, wearing traditional ethnic costumes, dancing gracefully on snowy mountains and grasslands, becoming the most dazzling official face of beautiful Xinjiang. She became a top-tier resource for the Chinese Communist Party's national propaganda machine. Once he figured it out, opportunities flooded toward him like a tidal wave. Anyone familiar with the industry knows that actors in major mainstream productions have to be vetted by the CCP's organizational departments, and titles within the literary and art system require approval from the Central Propaganda Department. Serving as an image ambassador for ethnic minorities is an even more sensitive matter, involving geopolitical considerations. All these top-level, cross-departmental national resources were concentrated on a single actor. This is absolutely not something that can be orchestrated by a single company or a particular circle. It has to be a national-level political task with direct orders from the highest levels of the propaganda system and coordinated execution by multiple departments. So the status of the person backing him must be extraordinarily high. Who could this person be? Let's keep going. On May 20th, 2021, Tong Liya and Chen Zicheng officially announced their divorce. 6 months later, Hong Kong's Ming Pao quoted sources in Beijing revealing that Tong Liya had already remarried. Her new husband was Sheng Haiyang, who was 16 years older than her and, at the time, served as Deputy Minister of the Central Propaganda Department and Director of China Media Group. As soon as this news broke, the whole internet exploded. No wonder Tong Liya could perform at the Spring Festival Gala. No wonder she could get so many resources. Turns out she married a top boss at CCTV. As for their relationship, there are all kinds of detailed versions circulating online. Some say that Tong Liya was introduced to Sheng Haisheng by a certain big shot, while others claim that Sheng Haisheng even divorced his original wife just to marry Tong Liya. There are also rumors that the two of them have already secretly registered their marriage, and Tong Liya has officially joined the ranks of high-ranking officials' wives. So, is Sheng Haisheng really the man behind Tong Liya? Most likely not. First of all, the timeline doesn't add up. Tong Liya first appeared on the CCTV Spring Festival Gala on February 15, 2018, while Sheng Haisheng became the head of CCTV on February 2, 2018. Think about it, a seasoned politician within the Chinese Communist Party system just arriving at a new organization with only 13 days for personnel arrangements, unclear about the business, unfamiliar with the people above and below him, and he's supposed to assign his girlfriend a role watched by over 1 billion people nationwide and subject to countless replays? This is an issue of intelligence. It's political suicide. Even if he had the guts, he wouldn't have the ability, because preparations for the previous Spring Festival Gala started as early as April of the previous year. In the same way, the decision for someone to appear on the Spring Festival Gala would have been made before he even took office. And he is just the executor. Second, for Sheng Haisheng to reach the position of CCTV director, he wouldn't be stupid enough to help his girlfriend in such a high-profile way. In the Chinese Communist Party's official circles, high-ranking officials who keep actresses as mistresses usually choose much more discreet methods. They would use intermediaries to deliver resources through covert channels. Why would anyone dump a bucket of crap on their own head? Tong Liya also had support beyond CCTV from the China Federation of Literary and Art Circles. CCTV head Sheng Haisheng lacked authority there. Despite his feelings for her, he couldn't make the Federation grant her the title of Li or send her in a delegation to North Korea. So here's the question. If it wasn't Shanghai Sheng, how did Hong Kong's Ming Pao end up publishing such a scandalous expose about a mainland minister? It's obvious. This is a case of using foreign media to re-import news back into China. Someone leaked information to foreign media, which was then brought back into the country, mainly to serve as a tool in political struggles to attack opponents. And at that time, on the eve of the 2021 year end and the upcoming 20th Party Congress leadership reshuffle, Shanghai Sheng was serving as the executive deputy minister of the Central Propaganda Department. He was one of the hottest candidates for succession, so it must have been done with the purpose. Friends, do you think my analysis makes sense? If you agree, please give me a like. If you have other insights, let's keep the conversation going in the comments section. So if it wasn't Shanghai Sheng, then who could be the person behind Tong Liya? First, Tong Liya's rise in official circles spans both CCTV and the Federation of Literary and Art Circles, so her backer must be higher than Shanghai Sheng and then Chairman Tai Min, able to mobilize both parallel systems. First is Huang Kunming, then propaganda chief. His office wields huge power over media and arts. Second is CCTV's overseer, the National Radio and Television Administration. This agency was involved just days before Tong Liya's 2018 Spring Festival Gala debut. A person named Ni Chun-shi was promoted to director of the National Radio and Television Administration. His relationship with Li Zhanshu is worth noting. He had worked in Hebei for a long time and was an old subordinate of Li Zhanshu. Later on, it was also thanks to Li Zhanshu's recommendation. He was able to leap directly from being vice governor of Hebei province to the second in command at the National Radio and Television Administration, and 3 years later he was smoothly promoted to director. So his major backers are Huang Kunming and Ni Chimsi. As for the likelihood of Huang Kunming being involved, it's relatively low. When Tong Liya was parachuted into the Spring Festival Gala center stage, Huang Kunming was busy jockeying for a spot in the 20th Party Congress Politburo. It's unlikely he would have made such a high-profile arrangement at such a sensitive time. It would threaten his political career. As for Ni Chenxi, her role is similar to Shanghai Sheng's, as we analyzed earlier. If Tong Liya really was her partner, she wouldn't be foolish enough to expose herself and put herself in the line of fire, so she must have been acting on orders from higher-ups. Like Shanghai Sheng, he is just an executor following orders. The only one who could make both of these heads of the propaganda department obey and willingly act as scapegoats must be someone above them. Li Zhanshu, someone at the level of a national-level standing committee member. Let's go back to the beginning of today's program. Cai Fuchao, who has just been brought down, served as the director of the State Administration of Radio, Film, and Television from 2011 to 2016, right before Ni Chenxi. Li Sisi marries Cai Fuchao's son, and with her father-in-law's power in the broadcasting system, she rocketed to fame during this same period, holding the prime spot on the Spring Festival Gala for 8 years straight. But the fact that Tong Liya was actually able to make her disappear and give up her spot is truly astonishing. As for Tong Liya now, she is still active on the highest stage within the system. She is currently a national-level literary and artistic representative for the China World Council. In the official press releases for the National Literary and Art Congress, her name and photo are always neatly listed at the very top. In news photos where she appears publicly, she is always dressed in impeccably tailored formal wear with a bright red representative badge pinned to her chest. Her hair is always perfectly styled in a neat updo, and she wears a standard, polite smile. However, her film and television works have visibly decreased, and she has become like an expensive porcelain figure displayed in the showcase of mainstream ideology. Cai Fuchao, you have to realize, even after 10 years of retirement, it's still hard to escape scrutiny. So what will the future hold for this porcelain figure displayed in the showcase? What fate awaits her? Has the power backing her ever truly revealed itself? Let's wait and see. Alright, that's all for today's discussion. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed my show, please do me a small favor and give me a like before you leave. To new viewers, welcome to True Perspective. Please subscribe. And I'd also appreciate it if you could share my show with more friends. Don't forget to use the fan hype feature, which helps my videos spread faster and reach a wider audience. As for who you think the real big shot behind Tong Liya is, share your thoughts with me in the comment section. Alright, that's it for today. Thank you all for watching, and I wish everyone a great weekend. We'll be back at the same time on Saturday on True Perspective. Don't miss it. See you then. Bye-bye.